Hello, everyone, and welcome to the inaugural season of the Odyssey Motorsport Raging Radicals. We have an 8-race season here with tonight's opener at Virginia International Raceway for both the Radical SR8 and the SR10. I am TJ Yankee, and in the broadcast booth with me, as always, is LaShawn Young Dilworth. First time hosting a league season here, Els. How are we feeling about tonight?
Oh, TJ, I'm feeling good, man. We done started up something, and we got something in special for y'all. We got Radicals US Tour, Raging Radicals, to be exact, SR8s, SR10s, multi-class. Everybody has open setups. It's going to be a blast, TJ. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. Super excited about this. You know, we talked about starting a league for a while now, and here we are tonight starting out the season opener. So we got to say a huge thanks to our partners in Cotterman Racing and Full Throttle Nation, specifically Jed Cotterman, for all the help getting us set up. A huge thanks to the Odyssey Motorsports team for being, a core supporter of the league and for all the fun times they've helped create here in our community. So this U.S. Tour, the Radicals, is going to be absolutely electric. Els, is there a specific circuit you are looking forward to this season? I got the schedule up now.
I'm looking at the schedule. I'm waiting for Road Atlanta. It's the last one. It's going to be the fan favorite, or I'm going to think it's the fan favorite. They're pretty much prototypes, these little cars here. And I think Daytona is going to be something to want to watch as well, with the difference in speed between the two cars. I believe the SR10 is slightly faster in the straights, but slower in the corners. We're going to see what the difference is tonight.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm going to say that I'm specifically pumped for tonight. I love VIR and for Road America. These Radicals are going to absolutely fly around these two circuits. But before we go too far into that upcoming season, let's go ahead and talk about our race format that we have for this. So we have a heat session coming up that is set with a 10-minute solo qualifying that's currently underway. Then the first heat will be a 15-minute sprint from a standing start, and then the feature race will be a 30-minute sprint with the top 10 from heat 1 being reverse gridded. So that means if you finish 10th in the heat race, you're going to be on the podium for the feature. So both races are from a standing start, so we're going to see some tire smoke as these featherlight mini prototypes, as you said, leave the starting line. Is there anything else we should touch on real quick before we go into onboard lap and stuff else?
Not quite. I think you got everything, TJ.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and talk about Odyssey Motorsport TV's brought to you by DLB Precision. New platinum sponsor here for Odyssey Motorsport TV. DLB Precision has created a reputation for top-of-the-line bespoke-built computers so that you and your team can run your sim title of choice and get an edge on the competition. Whether you're running a single widescreen as a driver or triple monitors while streaming or broadcasting, as we are, and talking in Discord, DLB Precision can get your PC purring like a well-tuned race motor. Head on over to DLBprecision.com. They can sort you out. Their PCs are assembled and stress tested, so you receive a turnkey solution. The people over at DLB Precision are sim racers themselves, so they run what they build, and they know all the ways to tune your PC to run your sim title of choice with no stutters, crashes, and bespoke to your needs. So if you're in the market for a sim PC or an update to your current PC, check out DLBprecision.com. Now let's talk about VIR tonight. Els, it's a beautiful circuit, lush grass runoff areas, a ton of elevation changes. It was built in 1957, was closed in 74, and then it was raised from the dead to where it currently is now in 1998. It's a 3.27 mile circuit with 21 corners, as some of those corners are double labeled, such as 5 and 5A. We got elevation changes going up and down the roller coaster into Oak Tree. It's going to be an absolute blast watching these guys bomb around the track. What do you think about VIRLs?
Virginia International Raceway. It's where we did our first charity race. It's basically like the home track of Odyssey Motorsports in a way. I mean, it is a fun track where you got the back straight into the roller coaster, which is a great opportunity to crash and also make good overtaking. And then you got the hog pen, which is not the best opportunity to make an overtake pass, which is very tight and very important to get a good run down the main straight. So there's definitely a lot of fun to be had here at VIR, and that's the reason why we chose it to be first. It's going to be optimum conditions in these little prototype things, and they're going to be moving and grooving, TJ.
All right. Well, with only a 10-minute qualifying, we got to jump onto the onboard real quick. We're going to have to start at 8:25 instead of 8:30. But let's go ahead and jump on the onboard real quick. That is the VIR onboard in the Odyssey Motorsport Radical SR8 driven by Els himself. Here we head down the front straight, going past the flag stand here. Going into turn 1, it's going to be a hard braking, kind of a double apexer. It's a really, really sweeping turn. You can go out wide and then cut it back there, or you can stay out wide, these cars being as light as they are. And the left-hander, turn 2, and then turn 3, which they call NASCAR. Really easy to get the car upset there if you don't hit the brakes right, and then hard on the brakes again as we head into 4. And then we are going to be heading into 5 and 5A, which is the start of the snake. Els, why don't you take it from here?
The little snake area right there you're talking about, that goes into 6A, 6B. I guess they have little mini designators for some of the corners here, but we're heading into 7 after the S's is what they call this complex of corners, which this right here I believe is 7 into 8, 9, or 8A, 8B, 8, 9, 10 into Oak Tree, 11 and 12. Right here, that's 12. That's the apex. You want to get a late apex onto this back straight here into 13 and 14, which is the roller coaster. TJ, why don't you take it back?
Yep, heading up towards the roller coaster as qualifying has just ended. We might have to cut this just a little short here as they're starting to grid up already, and it is a standing start into the roller coaster, a left-hander on hard on the brakes, down into a right-hander. Now we're heading over towards it's a Hog Pen here, which is the second and last corner complex. Now the right-hander, which is the final corner, and then back on to start, finish straight here at VIR. So we're going to see the SR10s and the SR8s together on the track. Let's go ahead and jump to our grid and take a look at what we're going to be having here tonight. So we are going to be doing a standing start. Benjamin Fior is on pole position. Kyle Shook in second place on the front row as well. John Santoro and Jeffrey Davis, third and fourth. Avery Dickinson and Clancy Garvin, fifth and sixth. Benjamin Gallant and Blaze Scheid, seventh and eighth. David Barkley and Ash Harper, ninth and 10th. 11th and 12th is Jason Sturmer and Onyx Amunzi. And moving on, we got Oliver Brooks in 15th and Juan Salas in 16th. So we are ready to rock and roll here as soon as everybody grids up. Els, this standing start, it's going to be interesting. You can see the field laid out in front of us here. Just a couple things on tonight's season opener for the season here. We're going to have medals for our top 3 in both classes at the end of the season. We got a livery contest that is going to be on the final race of the season. So any drivers, you watch this back, if you're friends with the drivers, let them know, hey, there's a livery contest and there's going to be some cool merch up for grabs for everyone that is entered in that livery contest. So be sure to check that out. The information on that is in our Discord. Els, anything else before we start?
I think the guys may have a trouble with the stand. Whoa.
Here we go. We're about to go. The red lights are up. As soon as they go out, we're going to be green flag racing here. Everyone getting away okay. And it looks like, Benjamin Fior and John Santoro going almost 3 wide into turn 1. Late on the brakes. These cars, no ABS for these cars. And they're going to be light as can be. It's John Santoro and Kyle Shook leading the way right now with Jeffrey Davis and Benjamin Fior in third and fourth. Clancy Garvin getting up in there as well. We got some real wheel banging going on between these top drivers so far. Everyone keeping it clean. No one really coming off the track yet as we head through the snake and up towards South Bend. Opening lap. Jason Sturmer and John Santoro and Kyle Shook battling for the lead as we head through South Bend here. And then head on down into Oak Tree for the first time. Look at that livery on Shook's car. That looks pretty awesome, Els.
Now, Shook Sim Racing is our livery designer. He has the special livery on today for Raging Radicals round 1. And look at him in second position putting on for the team, TJ.
Yep, and just want to point out that the top two SR8s, which actually have a little bit less power, a little bit less RPMs, but have a ton of downforce. So a circuit like Virginia International Raceway, that extra downforce is going to really, really help get the extra time through the corners.
Yeah, the extra time through the corners is definitely going to be given to the SR8. I believe the SR10 definitely has more power, or is it less downforce? We don't know what the answer is. We've done a bunch of testing, and they're sliding into the first corner. I believe they locked up. I don't know who that was. TJ.
Oh, David Barkley going off there. Once they get clear of turn 5A and B, it was Clancy Garvin going a little wide there. Excuse me, Jeffrey Davis going a little wide. Clancy Garvin trying to capitalize on it. We'll take a look at what happened going into NASCAR there in a moment. Look at these guys, nose to tail. They're teammates in two different classes here. So not officially racing one another, but I mean, they race against each other all the time. They know what they can get away with, what they can't. Kyle Shook, meanwhile, still hot on the tails of John Santoro here, trying to take the lead as we head in to Oak Tree again. So let's see what happened back with David Barkley here. So this looks like it's heading into turn 1. Oh, just locked up, got a little bit over on the inside there. Oh, shook it, and that is Jeffrey Davis going wide there as we came back. Getting back up to speed. He's dropping down. He's a second in his class, but has dropped down the order a little bit there. We're going to take a look real fast at what happened when Jeffrey Davis went off track. Just get a little wide there. Yeah, just went a little wide.
Just a little bit too much curbing, upsetting the car. Into the grass you go.
It's Clancy Garvin back there on Benjamin Fior, trying to get up into the second place for the Radical SR. That's a SR10 in front of him, actually. Benjamin Fior leading the SR10s right now. So these two not officially racing one another, but they are hot on each other's tail. So head through the S's up towards South Bend. I got to tell you, Els, we talked about this in another session that we happened to race both of these cars. Kind of a warm-up for this league coming up. I got to say, the SR8s sound way better than the SR10s coming into Oak Tree.
Well, the SR8s, they got a scream to them. The SR10s, they like whisper the little turbo sounds. It's cute. But the SR10s are like babies when they're first born, just crying and just piercing as they fly by, just like a hornet. Like that's what they remind me of, TJ.
Yep. So where the SR10 is going to have the advantage is going to be on the long straight. So you saw there we were on board Clancy Garvin, Benjamin Fior up ahead in the SR10. You saw him start to pull away, even though Clancy had a draft. That's kind of how it is. They just have a little bit more revs, so you can see the SR8 taking advantage of the curves here as Clancy Garvin tries to get ahead. But once again, we're back on the straight. You're going to see Benjamin slowly pull away, and then Clancy's going to reel him back into turn 1 and the sectors up ahead that are tight and twisty. A really interesting dynamic. You would assume that the SR10 being the evolution of the SR8, more revs and stuff like that, more downforce, at least the way it looks. Clancy on the inside. Oh, before they go into the snake here. And he does the up and under. Is he going to be able to stay? Oh, no. Benjamin goes wide onto the grass. So Clancy gets a position, but Benjamin's going to have the drive up this long straight here, up towards South Bend and through the S's.
Where's he going to go, TJ? Not through the S's.
I think he's going to stay behind for now. Benjamin Fior did get a slowdown penalty. You see that yellow flag right next to him. Benjamin Fior is going to have to bleed off that time.
Oh, a little bit of drama from Clancy Garvin. Oh, and we got a spin in the back there.
Is that Onyx Muncie? All right, let's take a look at Onyx Muncie real quick and see what happened with that. I think this was the spin we saw in the background. Oh, yeah, just locked up a little bit. Oh, was not able to stay out of the wall. But Benjamin Fior still leading the SR10s. We're going to jump up to John Santoro and Kyle Shook, still first and second in the SR8 class. And, I mean, you just look at it. Benjamin Fior, the lone SR10 up in kind of a sea of SR8s here. But Clancy Garvin trying to get another position on Benjamin Gallant, who is up ahead of him. And that is Benjamin Fior up ahead. Oh, I thought Benjamin Fior went off, but apparently he got around going down the front straight. As once again, the longer straights, the SR10 able to really stretch its legs. We're already more than halfway through this, or we're right at halfway through, excuse me, this 15-minute first heat. Once again, the top 10, they're going to be reverse gridded for the 30-minute main feature race. So we're going to see some real fireworks come in the main feature here after this heat. It's Jeffrey Davis behind Clancy Garvin there. Ooh, no! Huge contact there with Benjamin Gallant and Jeffrey Davis and Clancy Garvin. I think he got a little out of shape going into Oak Tree there, and he definitely has damage on his car.
Yeah, he's crab walking or something.
We're going to jump up to Kyle Shook right now. Still trying to get in front of John Santoro here, but kind of holding the position for now. We're going to jump back to Blaze Scheid, though, who just got past Benjamin Gallant, who we saw had that incident. And then Juan Salas is on his way to pass Benjamin Gallant. So does Benjamin come into the pits? Yes, he does. Into the pit lane for Benjamin Gallant. Unfortunate contact for him. Shook and Santoro, not sure if they, with this being the first race and all, do they know that there's less than half of the race left already, and it is ticking down fast. We're getting close to 6 minutes remaining in this first heat here. Who makes the move? How does the defensive move work here for these two fighting for the lead? On board with John here, with Shook right behind him. Go ahead, Ellis.
It's interesting to see these SR8s pull out a gap to the SR10s. You would think it'd be the SR10s in front with these long straights, essentially.
Yeah.
But we're seeing the SR8s just take over. I guess the high downforce areas just make up the time for the straights.
I mean, yeah, if you look at the track map up there on the right, you're going to see that it's... Actually, I just noticed that the Raging Radicals logo there is actually in front of the trap map. We're going to move this guy down. You see the trap map. There's a lot of, it looks like long straights, but there's actually quite a bit of, as you've been watching the cars on track, a lot of not straight straights, if you will, Ellis, with the exception, even the front straight has a bend to it. So the SR8s, yeah, clearly the car to be in around this circuit here tonight.
Not something you would have expected, considering they are the older of the two and without a turbo.
Yeah. Oh, side by side into turn 2 here. A little bit of sliding from John. He's able to hold on to the position for now to head into NASCAR turn 3 and 4 here. We're heading around through 5A and B, the S's before the S's, if you will. And now they're heading up the hill. They're going to be going through these S's. Let's jump on board with John. And now, Shook, you can see how these cars just fly through those S's into South Bend, which is a very difficult corner to nail. But both of these drivers absolutely perfect through it. And now, Oak Tree, which is one of the slowest corners on the track. I think John got a little bit better of a drive out of Oak Tree there.
but he's got the drive. Kyle Shook is putting on the pressure regardless, TJ.
Indeed, he is going up into roller coaster once again. As they come around, they'll be finishing lap 7, going on to lap 8 with just 3.5 minutes remaining in this first heat. These two clearly in a class of their own, just finishing 8 laps, and they're already almost 8 seconds up ahead of Clancy Garvin, who is a pretty quick driver himself. Oh, here we go into turn 1. Shook trying the outside line. Santoro defending. Now Kyle on the inside. Oh, gets a little out of shape, but holds it together. And that's one thing, Els, you and I have driven these cars in the low-speed corners. They want to slide. They have no weight, and when that downforce isn't there, these cars slide. So it is a razor's edge of performance, and to really get the most out of the car, you got to be on top of it as they head through the S's up towards South Bend, the left-hander at the crest of the hill there, and now they're heading down towards Oak Tree. The hairpin that you see.
Wow, this is some good racing. They've been close for probably the entire race.
Yeah.
And TJ into the roller coaster now. They got a drive, or Kyle Shook behind has a drive. Is he going to be able to maximize it before the braking zone?
He's definitely utilizing. Let's jump back out and see if he makes a move. He looks to the inside, into the roller coaster. Oh, locks up a little bit there. Keeps it on the track, but I saw that right front, just the wheel just stopped. Incredible car control from Shook as he was able to keep it from going off there. And that's coming over the crest of a hill too, so the car gets a little bit light, has less downforce on it. And now we're back once again down the front straight here with a 141. Both of them.
White flag.
This is the white flag. White flag is out. This should be the final lap here. A little puff of smoke there from Santoro. So John and Shook, the final lap of the first heat is when the fireworks are going to start going off here. John trying to get back into first place. Heading into turn 4. Shook up ahead into the lead for now. John Santoro trying to claw it back. As you said, Els, these two have been battling each other basically the entire first heat. Less than a minute remaining. This has got to be the final lap. Shook pulling a little bit of a gap there.
Now, TJ, I'm not going to say Kyle Shook planned that out, but he timed that to the T. It is the last lap, and look at the gap that he's gaining on second place already. Well done, Kyle Shook. Let's see if you can hold it to the end. You got it. Let's go.
Here we go. He's trying to break the draft on the run up to the roller coaster here. Don't know if he was really able to do all that much, but either way, John not really able to close the gap too much, not enough to mount an attack, but he does take a look at the inside. Kyle covers it off through the roller coaster. He's only got a few turns left. And here we go, coming around Hogpen for the final time in the Heat 1. It looks like Kyle Shook is going to lead John Santoro for the opening inaugural heat in the opening round here of the Raging Radicals. And he is able to do so. What a drive from these individuals here. That was a ton of fun to watch. Benjamin Fiore, your SR10 winner, with Jeffrey Davis in second. Oh, man, that was intense.
That was good, TJ.
That was exciting.
I am happy that we've put together a little bit of something that has a little bit of something that is becoming a little bit more of something. You know what I'm saying, TJ?
Yeah, no, that was some great racing up there from the leaders. Shook taking the win in the SR8. John Santoro close behind, solid battling throughout that entire first heat there. Heck of a finish from these individuals. Looks like Jason Sturmer coming across the line. He will finish out here. So let's go ahead and put up our results of the first heat for tonight. Well, that's the practice results. We want Heat 1 results. So, as we saw, Kyle Shook taking the first win in Heat 1. John Santoro hot on his heels. Benjamin Fiore is going to take the win in the SR10 with Jeffrey Davis in second. Clancy Garvin coming in third in the SR8. Blaze Scheid. Fourth, fifth is David Barkley. Avery Dickinson closing out your top three in the SR10. Juan Salas, Benjamin Gallant, Onyx Munzie, Jason Sturmer, Ash Harper, Daniel Schmal, Elzen Oliver are just in the session as spectators. So we're jumping right back into the next one. So you're going to see here. Let's get our results back up. So your grid is now going to be Benjamin Gallant up in front as he finished in 10th overall. Juan Salas in second. Avery Dickinson in third. Fourth is David Barkley. Blaze Scheid fifth. Sixth, Clancy Garvin. Jeffrey Davis in seventh. Benjamin Fiore in eighth. John Santoro in ninth. And Kyle Shook, your leader, in 10th. We're already ready to rock and roll here. Lights are going red. When they go out, we are away. Benjamin Gallant leading the pack so far. Oh, he got a horrible start there. That is unfortunate for him. Looks like everyone else got around him, though. Into turn one. Avery Dickinson leading the way. 3 wide further back there into turn one. Jeffrey Davis holding on. Currently second in the SR10 class. Oh, a little bit of puff of smoke there up ahead.
And we got a spinner.
Yeah, it was Onyx Munzie. Onyx Munzie going around. Look at this train of front cars over there. And behind that's Jason Sturmer going sideways. You can see it there in the background. Guys, the second the feature's 30 minutes. It was much more, I would say, civilized in the first heat. But right now,
just getting to know each other, DJ.
Just getting to know one another. Excuse me. So Avery Dickinson leading the way in the SR10s and overall. David Barkley first place in the SR8s, but Clancy Garvin right behind, and John Santoro all the way from 8th all the way into 3rd already. Juan Salas in 4th behind him. Going up into roller coaster for the first time. Clancy Garvin, David Barkley actually looking to make a move here. But further back, we got side by side through roller coaster. That is ballsy. Jeffrey Davis making a good move up further, but David Barkley taking a look on Avery Dickinson here, and you can see Avery getting the legs of that SR10 to stretch out. But, oh, a huge lockup from David Barkley, but he keeps it from going into Avery Dickinson. So he remains in second place, but now Clancy Garvin has closed the gap. What's going to happen as we go through turns 3 and 4? Oh, man, I guess the excitement from the first heat just... These guys are ready to go. Clancy Garvin right on the back of David Barkley here as we head up towards, through the S's up towards South Bend.
Now we're seeing the SR10 just kind of stretch his legs here through the S's. Then the SR8 just making up the room in the braking and in these corners. It's just a good balance, TJ. I didn't do anything with the setups. I think it's just the way the car is. It's just an interesting war between the two.
Yep, here we go up into the roller coaster. David Barkley got a bit of a better drive out of Oak Tree. And then behind we got Clancy Garvin and Jeffrey Davis switching positions. That SR10 of Jeffrey Davis able to utilize that straight as we talked about. Get up in front of Clancy Garvin. Well, that's John Santoro trying to get involved as well. He's able to take a look up the inside. They're heading into turn 1 here. Oh, goodness. Clancy Garvin, it's Jeffrey Davis closing the door there on John Santoro, but John Santoro up into second place for the SR8s. All that is up ahead for him is David Barkley, who currently leads overall. And that's what the reverse grid does, Els, is the guys who were quick in the first heat, they got to make their way through the field, and we got some good racing going. We're only 4 minutes into this 30-minute session, Els.
Yeah, TJ, I'm loving what I'm seeing. It's going to be a great season, a crazy season, a raging radical season as we got dirt flicking up, and we're going into Oak Tree just very civilized, but still raging nonetheless. It's Raging Radicals, Odyssey Motorsport TV. We are live, TJ. Take it away.
Yep, heading up towards roller coaster once again. You're going to see the SR10 of Jeffrey Davis get by Clancy or Avery Dickinson there. Oh, I'm sorry. That was for the lead of the SR10. So Jeffrey Davis taking the lead of the SR10 field now from Avery Dickinson. I don't know if Avery got a bad exit out of Oak Tree or not, but Jeffrey Davis able to utilize whatever happened there and jump into the lead. But Avery coming back, trying to go on the outside of turn one. Still side by side on the exit here. Now Avery's going to be on the insides for 3 and 4. And these two drive together all the time in the Odyssey Motorsport Track and Smack. And oh, goodness. John Santoro, who was second place in the opening heat there, trying to get around these two SR10s here. Oh, wow. That was Clancy Garvin coming out from John Santoro. I think he might have gotten a slowdown or something. All right, we're going to jump down to this group that is just behind here. Juan Salas, currently fourth in the SR8. Oh, no! And that's John Santoro, your second place finisher from the first heat. Overcooks it coming out of Oak Tree, and he's back on the circuit, but he has lost numerous positions there. Like I said, L's in those low-speed corners. The SR8s and the SR10s, they like to slide around, so you got to be extra careful when you get on that throttle.
Absolutely, TJ. And the fact that these cars have no ABS and no traction control, getting on the throttle is almost a death wish. You got to be careful with these little prototype things.
Yep, 100%. I actually forgot to mention that they don't have traction control. I did mention they don't have ABS, as we've seen a number of drivers lock these up. We had mentioned that. They don't have traction control, so being very gentle on the throttle, especially in the low-speed corners, is, I mean, I wouldn't say it's important. I would say it's required. So we see Clancy Garvin once again trying to get past Avery Dickinson here. SR8 versus SR10. Heading up through the S's towards South Bend. And Ellis, I know you and we've driven these cars numerous times for numerous different race leagues. Appreciation race. Oh no! That's Jeffrey Davis going sideways, coming out of Oak Tree there. So the low speed, unfortunate low speed corner once again claims another victim. I was gonna say, these guys look like they're having an absolute blast here. That's Benjamin Fior trying to get by here, still side by side with Jeffrey Davis. Go ahead, Els.
The Radicals are something that you can throw and, I mean, find time and every corner on every lap. It's one of those cars that has downforce, so pushing it harder means more grip. And I mean, TJ, every time it's going to be fun because they're going to be slapping each other down the straights, fighting for the braking zone and the inside line, TJ. I'm telling you, Raging Radicals is where it's at. We got a little lockup into turn 1.
Oh,
what was that, TJ?
It switched cameras. I thought the lockup, it was one of these two. It switched cameras right as I saw the puff of smoke. I thought someone was going off track, but whoever it was able to hang on to it there. I don't know if it was Benjamin or Clancy. Clancy, once again, currently second to David Barkley, who's leading the race. We're coming up to 10 minutes, so a third of the way through this feature event here tonight.
Now, TJ, I believe from my little bit of experience on iRacing, I would call this more or less pretty civilized, pretty well done by the drivers, not really taking each other out, being respectful. That's what we want to see to start the league, just kind of an understanding between the drivers as this SR10 is in the draft.
In the draft,
take the outside.
Just, I mean, gapping that SR8 of Clancy Garvin heading up towards roller coaster there. That is another kind of indication of the difference between these two cars. And then you're going to see Clancy Garvin is going to be right on the tail of Benjamin Fior, going through the twisty bits and then the stretch the legs. It's going to be a ton of leapfrogging here. Really awesome stuff. But Avery Dickinson still currently leaving up just ahead here, as Benjamin Fior is going to try to take the lead in the SR10 field. Is ahead for now, but he's on the outside. Will he be able to stay side by side so he can be on the inside? And it looks like he, still is. And once again, like we said, no ABS, no traction control. The cars like to slide in the corners. These two drivers leaving each other, I would say, a respectful amount of space and not diving, nothing like that. Great overtake from Benjamin Fior on Avery Dickinson. He currently leads the SR10s. And so far, I've seen some fantastic driving, respectful driving, as individuals are trying to get up to that top step of the podium here. Oh, that is David Barkley. David Barkley had an off track there. I don't know if you saw that. A little bit of dust was kicking up. He was almost up to 6 seconds of a gap, and is now down to 3.5. Now Avery Dickinson back up into the lead as he had a move up into roller coaster. So Avery Dickinson back into the lead of the SR10 field here. As they head down the front straight, we're 12 minutes into this 30-minute session, so just under halfway. So far, David Barkley and Avery Dickinson, your leaders for the two respective SR10 and SR8 classes. Heading through NASCAR, everyone kind of staying single file. Clancy Garvin now taking a look on Benjamin Fior here. As again, as we said, this section of the track is where the SR8 really has the advantage. And then just as you think, yep, I got him, now you go into a long straight. And the SR10 is going to stretch his legs out from the SR8. Oh, that looks so awesome. It looks like these are slot cars, as they're going through those S's. There's almost no body roll at all as they go through those S's at high speed. That is so cool looking.
Absolutely, TJ. These cars are built to cut through the air and grip on the road as long as they can get the air to keep it on the ground, as we've been saying the entire broadcast. They're actually pretty fun to drive, but also very challenging nonetheless.
Yeah, I would have to agree. A huge amount of fun as you see Clancy Garvin all over the back of Benjamin Fior, trying to get up ahead, trying to get away from Juan Salas, who's currently third in the SR8 field. So you got the two SR10s above fighting for second and third, and then you got the two SR8s behind also fighting for second and third. Nope, you know, I missed. Oh, goodness, a little late braking there from Clancy Garvin, but he doesn't have any contact. Excuse me, the SR10s are fighting for the lead of their class. Avery currently still ahead. Clancy now on the inside there. He's going to take the position. Oh, a little bit of slipping and sliding there, but he's able to hold on to it. Gonzalez able to get up ahead of Benjamin Fior, but Benjamin Fior able to attack back before the S's. And now split the two SR8s that are in second and third position here. That's what Clancy wants to see. He wants to see an SR10 in between him and third place of Juan Salas. And Avery Dickinson is loving seeing Clancy Garvin in between him and Benjamin Fior. So,
well, we'll see how long that lasts. They only got this back straight here, and I'm assuming that it may be a big enough gap that it won't be a problem. But we'll see if we'll see some leapfrogging to really get the action going, TJ.
Absolutely. I do want to say on that, shot coming up towards roller coaster, the wide shot there. I saw a familiar livery there. Our first place finisher from Heat 1. There he is, Kyle Shook in the background there, making up some positions. Already back up into fifth. Had to start 10th and get around all that chaos on the first couple corners of lap 1. And he is reeling these guys in. But David Barkley still currently almost 5 seconds ahead of this group here. And as far as he's concerned, go ahead, guys. Keep fighting each other. This is what I want to see as we are past the halfway point now. As Clancy Garvin's going to get ahead of Avery Dickinson here. And now the fight is going to be on. I don't know if my commentators curse David or not. But now Clancy Garvin's going to be... He's going to be pushing to try to get up to David Barkley here. Now Avery and Benjamin here fighting for the lead in the SR10 field. And just wanted to point out, Kyle Shook just got past Benjamin Gallant. He is reeling them in. Man, let me tell you, Kyle Shook, he has really figured out these radicals. Every time we've raced in him, he is, I wouldn't say he's been in a league of his own, but he's definitely not been in a league that I'm in. That's for sure. He's just got pace in these cars for days. Oh, Clancy Garvin and Avery side by side through the roller coaster here. Sorry for cutting you off there, Els.
No, you're good. I mean, it's constant battle with these raging radicals, and Kyle Shook is just flying through the field. If you want to see him just poking his nose right there in the back, waiting for the incident to happen. There's got to be something. Look at them tapping into the first corner now, side by side, 3 wide almost.
Oh, guys, there had to be an inch between Clancy and Avery there. Benjamin Fior up into first place in the SR10. Oh, Clancy locks up a little bit, but he holds on to it. I did not see any contact there. And now Kyle Shook is caught up with this group. What's he going to do now that he has entered the fray? Oh, a little bit of contact back there from Juan Salas and Avery, Benjamin Gallant. Oh, this has got to be a blast. I mean, the way these guys are just going back and forth. Oh, goodness. Oh, that's Avery Dickinson sideways. Avery Dickinson, who was leading, and that was, Juan Salas there is going to be heavy damage on his SR8. And Benjamin Fior was not caught up in that, so he was able to kind of gap away from Avery Dickinson there. Let's take a look at what happened there. Oh, man. So we're going to start with John Santoro and him going off track here. That's not the incident I want. So going to jump up to... All right, that was after it happened. Interestingly enough, because the cars were kind of sliding on track, it didn't show anyone going off track. Didn't show any incidents. That's very interesting, Els. David Barkley still up in the lead with all that malarkey going on behind him. He's now pulled out almost a 10-second gap on Clancy Garvin. But Benjamin Fiore in the SR10 still in between the two of them. We're coming up to 10 minutes remaining, so 2/3 of the way through this 30-minute feature event. And Kyle Shook trying to get by Benjamin Gallant here. I mean, Els, how many laps in a row did we see that group of 4 or 5 just kind of leapfrog places there? Incredible racing from all of the drivers involved, but it was bound to at some point someone put a toe wrong, and these cars just collided into each other, and now they're spread out. But that was super exciting for those, I would say, 7 to 8 laps that we got to watch that. Like I said, as someone, both of us being someone who has driven these cars, when you get to do side-by-side racing with them, it's just an absolute blast. So I'm sure they were grinning ear to ear. I'm sure the individuals who lost out the most in that incident are probably not thrilled about it, but I bet you they were having a blast all the way up until they weren't.
That's usually how it goes in racing, TJ. We're banging side by side in the Raging Radicals, and I mean, they're gonna get frisky, and it's the start of the season. We got to get the points on the board and start it off strong. So the whole thing is just gonna be war, TJ.
Yep, I'm going to have to agree with you there, especially with how, once again, it's how civilized we saw that opening heat, where you're not really penalized as much because you got another race, and then the opening laps there of the main feature, we just saw everyone trying to get up ahead. And then that amazing racing from that group from second all the way back to like 6th or 7th. It's really great. And Kyle Shook putting in the fastest lap. He just kind of pipped David Barkley. David Barkley put in a 140.33. And then Kyle Shook put in a 140.31. So these two right on, I'd say, the cusp of as fast as you're going to get around here with the traffic that Shook is dealing with, and David out by himself. No draft available to him.
Now, TJ, in my onboard lap, I think I did a 41.4, and I did a good 10-15 laps.
Oh!
And
sorry, Shook diving.
I could get.
Shook diving up the inside there. He's able to get in front of Benjamin Gallant there before the roller coaster. A heck of a move. Again, that is at the crest of a hill under braking. Not easy to execute. And now up ahead is his teammate Clancy Garvin, both Odyssey Motorsport drivers. How is this going to shake out as we got less than 8 minutes remaining here for the season opener of the Raging Radicals at Virginia International Raceway?
He is flying.
He really is. John Santoro just threw in another purple lap with 140.19. Again, these I would say both of these radicals so light to begin with. As the fuel burns off, they're actually going to get quicker and quicker and quicker. So add in individuals that have the draft, and you're going to see some wild and fast lap times here in the closing minutes of the session here tonight. There we go, going in a toe tree. Who's going to get the better drive out? Oh, no.
Whoa.
That's Benjamin Gallant is going to overcook it there. Is Kyle warming up his tires there or something? What is he doing?
He's probably messing with Clancy. Don't know where he's going. What side? Clancy's not having any of it.
Clancy just goes ahead and holds his line. Going into roller coaster. Oh, and that's the other thing. Not only is the sound of the SR8 amazing, you can see every gear shift. There's a flame right above the camera on the gearbox there, which is just awesome stuff. Here we go into turn one.
TJ.
Side by side. Shook on the inside. Clancy Garvin on the outside. Shook takes the position. Shook into second place of the SR8s here. Only one between him and David Barkley, who currently leads the SR8s, is Benjamin Fior in an SR10. Oh, goodness.
Ooh,
Got
little drama right there.
Real out of shape coming out of the S's now. We're side by side. Here we go. You don't really want to go side by side through these S's at high speed, but they're doing it. Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
Both of them leaving space for one another, but still fighting at the same time, still side by side going into Oak Tree. You got Shook on the inside. Oh, Clancy dips a tire off.
man.
I guarantee you. No contact at all. I guarantee you they were in the Discord probably screaming and giggling the whole time they were going side by side through the S's there on the lead up to South Bend and then into Oak Tree. That was incredible racing from both drivers. Just unfortunate for Clancy that he got a tire to dip off there. Oh, man, I thought they were going to be able to hold it.
I thought that was going to end in tears, but that was probably a laugh, like you said, in between the two drivers. Very respectful, but it just happened to drop a tire and round he goes.
Clancy Garvin. Now, another teammate he's got to race with here, Jeffrey Davis. So Clancy's still on the podium, still third position in the SR8s. Jeffrey Davis currently second in the SR10s. So pretty great representation from the Odyssey Motorsport crew coming out here tonight. Filling up some podium positions. And, I mean, putting on a show. Oh, just like we saw between Clancy and Shook. Jeffrey getting a little out of shape coming through the S's, but Jeffrey got that SR10 extra leg space there going through the S's up towards South Bend. It's going to pull a little bit of a gap. And with 3.5 minutes remaining here, Clancy Garvin gets it a little loose. We're going to take a look at some of our other drivers here tonight. Blaze Scheid, look at that retro-looking livery. That's a pretty good... Oh, sorry, I said Blaze Scheid. I meant Ash Harper. Awesome 1980s style logo there with the KCRL for Kansas City Racing League. Blaze Scheid.
Actually, TJ,
what's up?
If you want to go back to Ash Harper, I believe that was actually done by Kyle Shook himself.
Oh,
was actually...
That makes sense.
Notified. I got a picture of that, and I was like, man, that was one of your best creations that I've seen. And I mean, just look at it.
Totally radical. That is awesome. Shook showing that he's not only got the chops on the circuit, but definitely when it comes to designing these liveries. I personally just don't have the artistic abilities. We see John Salas. He's in the Martini livery here, running without an entire front nose and keeping up here with Benjamin Gallant here. But yeah, you see those front tires struggling to get grip as he's got very little downforce with that front nose missing. Yeah, I just can't wrap my head around when I see a cool design, I can recognize it and appreciate it, but when it comes to coming up with that myself, oh my goodness, I don't know how he does it, but he is just knocking it out of the park left and right with these liveries. Oh, a little bit of Tokyo drift there from John Santoro. Remember, he was our second place finisher in the opening heat. And he's trying to come up on Clancy Garvin and take that final podium position in the SR8s. 1.5 minutes remaining. Let's take a look and see where David Barkley is on track. and see if we see the white flag as he comes by. White flag is out. This is the final lap of the inaugural feature event for the Raging Radical. Here's at VIR, Odyssey Motorsport and Odyssey Motorsport TV. And let me tell you, we're having a blast out here. These drivers are having a blast out here. So John Santoro, he still has less than a second gap up to Clancy Garvin for that final podium position in the SR8 field. And I don't know what the tire situation is for these drivers. 30 minutes around VIR in this car. I don't know if they're screaming. I don't know if they're still fine, and just the light weight going through those low speed corners making it slide.
I imagine the lightness of the car is only going to be multiplied by the tires being worn out by drifting every corner practically in these little prototypes. I'm calling them little prototypes. From now on, they're my little prototypes. And you got to be very minimal with the steering, but maintain the slip angle. It's a delicate balance, TJ.
All right, we're staying on board here as David Barkley is going to take the checker flag and take the win in the SR8. Clancy Garvin trying to hold off John Santoro here for the final podium position in the SR8s, with Jeffrey Davis in the SR10 up ahead. Benjamin Fior is going to take the win in the SR10 class. Kyle Shook second place. Is anything going to happen here at the start-finish line? I don't think that's going to be the case, and that's going to be our finish here tonight for the opening round of the Raging Radicals. Stay tuned, everyone. We got driver interviews coming up later. Avery Dickinson ends up third in the SR10 after that crazy, wild back and forth that that group of drivers had that ended up ending in contact and I would say tears, as Hell said. Jason Sturmer, Ash Harper, and Blaze Scheid working their way around for the final time to come across the start-finish line. Oh my goodness, what a wild opener here tonight. I think I had a little bit of everything else.
From bumping to drafting to side-by-sides to lockups to spins, everything that you wanted to see these Radicals do, we're going to get all through the season. And just now in this first round, TJ, it's going to be fun.
Oh, I'm going to have to agree 100% with you. That is amazing racing from as Jason Sturmer throws it sideways as he comes across the start-finish line here. And now we're going to pull up our initial results for our season opener feature event. David Barkley is going to be your overall and SR8 winner. Benjamin Fior, winner in the SR10. Kyle Shook, second place in the SR8. Jeffrey Davis, second place in the SR10. Clancy Garvin, closing out your podium, third place in the SR8. John Santoro, fourth. Avery Dickinson, closing out your podium in the SR10. Benjamin Gallant is fifth place. Sixth place, Juan Salas. Ash Harper is seventh place. Eighth place, Blaze Scheid. Jason Shermer, ninth place. 10th place, Onyx Munzie. Daniel Schmal is closing out your SR10 field tonight. And we got to see if anyone remembers to jump into the waiting for the interview. I don't know if you could jump in there and let them know. We had a heck of a start here tonight with great back and forth in the heat race between Kyle Shook and John Santoro. And then the main feature event, that was just some great racing all around from these guys. Wild little prototypes, little mini prototypes going on around Virginia International Raceway. It was a blast to watch, and I guarantee you, especially a lot of these drivers have been driving with each other in the Odyssey Motorsport Track and Smack, or as we saw, were teammates. They were having an absolute blast this entire time here. Els, were you able to communicate to them, hey, If you finished in the top 3, jump into the waiting for interview.
I'm gonna take Jeffrey Davis. I told Kyle Shook to get in here. However, it seems like he had to go somewhere right after the race. So I'm gonna get Jeffrey Davis. I think he said he wanted an interview.
Sure.
And I think Clancy might do it. I'm not sure. I'm getting a direct message here. It's PC crash. Kyle Shook's PC crash.
Oh,
so
wow.
let's bring Jeffrey Davis in here. We'll have a little talk with him. See how his race was.
All right, sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Jeffrey
Davis.
Go ahead, Ellis. Take it away.
How was the race tonight at VIR round 1, Raging Radicals? How was your race?
It was great. Race 1 or the heat race. I think I finished, I want to say 3rd, I think, which wasn't too bad. Race 2, however, I had an amazing start, got all the way up to P1 with a fat gap, and I blew it coming out of Oak Tree, which just ruined it all for me, unfortunately.
Now, we are kind of in the test area of this league. Very first run for the league. Just a little bit of a shaky start. I think there was a little bit of requirement issues that we're having in the beginning. I want to apologize for that. Did you see any issues with the way it was formatted? Is there anything that I need to adjust for the next race?
Definitely for the next race, I would say separate the classes. So put all the classes like together. It was a bit hectic on the start, of course, because the SR8s are just so much faster on cold tires going around these corners. It was a bit dramatic in the voice comms with me and my teammates because they were trying to get me to go faster, and I was just like, I can't. So definitely separating the classes would be a whole lot better for the race starts.
Absolutely, Jeffrey. Now, while you're on broadcast, was there anybody that you wanted to shout out?
Just shout out the guys at Odyssey Motorsport. Shout out you guys for having me, bringing me in to do this interview. Yeah, that's it.
All right, Jeffrey, and you have a wonderful evening. Thank you for interviewing with us tonight.
Thank you.
All right, that was Jeffrey Davis. We got David Barkley waiting for an interview here. We're going to bring him in and see how the romp around when the Radical SR8 was for him tonight as the winner. David, huge congrats on the win in the feature event. How was the Radical around VIR for you?
Oh man, it was absolutely fun, man. Like I only had a couple laps in it here. I was late coming home from work, so my first lap tonight was lap 1 of quali.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I gotta hand it to you. After the heat race, you definitely figured it out really fast. So you pulled a pretty big gap, almost 12 seconds out on Benjamin Fior, who was the leader for the SR10 class. But yeah, you were pretty much out there alone. World sailing around the world yachtsman there after the initial kind of scramble there. So definitely you came to grips with this car very quickly at this track. Super excited to see you out here. Huge congrats on the win. I mean, what did you think?
I saw that I had a gap, so I was like, okay, I just need to play it safe. And then I started looking who had the fastest lap times, and I'm like, oh, I want to try to beat that. And then I would run one, and then I think it was John and Kyle, like
Yep.
they were both like just flying. And I'm like, oh man, like I went fast one lap, and then that same lap they would both get me, and I'm like, oh man. So and I probably should have played it a little more safe, not having a whole lot of time in these cars, but I don't know how to do that.
Well, I mean, however you played it the right way because you ended up on top. Just like Els talked to Jeffrey Davis, this is our first time running a league. Was there anything that you'd like to see changed? Jeffrey had mentioned it would be cool to see the classes separated on the grid, just because of the the grip difference in some of the car between the SR8 and the SR10 on cold tires. Any notes that you have for us?
Man, I thought it was great. Can't wait to do it again. Thank you guys for putting this on.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for coming out. Huge congrats on the win. You got any shout outs that you'd like to give tonight?
To my beautiful wife, Linda, for putting up with my racing addiction.
All right. Well, thanks. Thanks, Dave. We will see you Tuesday night for Kansas City Racing League, and then next Friday night at Watkins Glen here. So thanks for coming out. Congrats on the win. Man.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. All right, that was Dave Barkley. So it looks like Kyle Shook was able to get his PC back up and running. Talking about crashing at the right time after the race was completed. We're going to bring Kyle in, Els, and why don't you take it away? Kyle Shook, second place in the SR8 class after starting 10th. Heck of a race from him. Here he comes, and take it away, Els.
Kyle Shook, what a race. I think you took the win on the first one, and you came back and got second place on the second one. How was that race at VIR tonight?
It was amazing. The first heat race, being battling John, that was the funnest racing I've ever done. I calculated it perfectly.
Calculated it perfectly. I actually called it out on stream. I said he must have psychologically planned that out. It was fantastic, Kyle Shook. How was the format and the actual race setup? Was there anything that needed to be adjusted or yet improved?
I think the only thing I could think of is having the SR10s and the SR8 like starting separately.
Copy.
Well, other than that, it was a great race.
Now, while we are on broadcast, is there anybody or any organization that you would like to shout out?
I'd like to shout out Odyssey because Odyssey is just awesome. I want to shout out TJ, the owner, and Els, you, the co-owner. And then if you ever need a custom livery, just hit me up at Shook Sim Racing on Discord or on Instagram or on TikTok. And that's it.
Absolutely, Kyle Shook. And thank you for interviewing with us. You have a wonderful night. It was great watching you. Congratulations.
Thank y'all.
And that was Kyle Shook, the livery master, and seemingly the SR8 master. David Barkley's going to have his work cut out for him next week, as Shook is an absolute speed demon in these SR8s, taking the win in the first heat and then going all the way up to second place after starting 10th in the main feature event. Els, yeah, I would say that, I mean, the feedback's clear. We should separate the classes here, which is a pretty simple thing to do. We're going to drop that I rating requirement so that more individuals can join that were interested. And I think next week we're going to have another wild ride around Watkins Glen. You got any final thoughts for us tonight?
Mind you, drivers, we do have a drop race. Unfortunately for the individuals that weren't able to participate, because the session was actually created with a 1200 floor, there will be a drop race, and this will essentially be that drop race, and we can just continue on as if nothing happened. It is all on me. I just want to shout out those individuals and let them know that I do take responsibility for that hiccup right there.
Yeah, like as we said at the beginning of the broadcast, thanks, Els. At the beginning of the broadcast, this is the first time we're running a league. We've been talking about it for a while. Super excited to see, 14 individuals coming out that are going to be racing, more that are interested. We're excited about it. If you watch the race at all, you can see that the racing is exciting to watch. These cars are just an absolute blast to drive, a blast to watch, and amazing to broadcast. So I'm looking forward to next week. But, that's going to conclude our coverage of Season 1, round 1 of the Raging Radicals US Tour here tonight. Partnerships with Cotterman Racing and Full Throttle Nation for helping us get this set up. And then obviously the Odyssey Motorsport TV sponsor, DLB Precision, for hooking us up with awesome equipment and great service. I am TJ Yankee.
And I'm LaShawn Young Diller.
And that's going to conclude our broadcast here tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you back for round 2 at Watkins Glen next Friday. Thank you and good night.